Hello there. Here's something that I hope seems as simple to you as it does to me. This, the morning of 10th of October 2018, burst out in a rage of indignation that senior British Army officers were taking what is being described as administrative action against a group of young trainee soldiers. These chaps had been travelling in a convoy of 4 buses, and they chanced upon Tommy Robinson in a motorway service station where they had each stopped. The media decided to feed on the views of the Muslim Council of Great Britain Forces spokesperson in full Tommy bashing mode. Now, it's not often that the mainstream national media is right on this topic, but on this occasion they're wrong. All sympathy seems to be with the young soldiers, and what else would anyone expect? I'm an ex-forces. I joined the Royal Air Force at 15 as a boy entrant. And so with that sight of the issues, I piped up with my penny's worth across my own social media, observing as follows. Tommy Robinson appeals to the thinking of a lot of forces men and women, and so he should. He too has signed up to defend his country. His chest would be covered in medals if he had joined the army and had fought in a war zone, because he is a brave leader who acts upon what he sees with speed, good instincts and courage. Great Britain's public needs a Tommy Robinson in its midst. In fact, much of the world wants to borrow him too, because Tommy says it as it is, and his honesty and his style appeal in a way that almost no politician, whose job of course it is to do that, does. At times pointing out that the king has no clothes. It seems clear from all he says that Tommy holds no hatred for anyone of any creed or colour or sexuality who is pro-Britain, law-abiding. It's worth repeating that Tommy is completely happy, having grown up with immigrant families forming 90% of his friends and relatives, from all races and creeds in multicultural Luton. But Tommy hates and calls out a number of things that are going on under our noses that we would assume would be stopped and prosecuted by the responsible council and police, etc. officers. But they are not. Some sort of disease has got into the British blood supply, turning us into snowflakes, who would rather turn and look away than face ugly truths. Today and every day, a vulnerable white or Sikh British girl will lose her life's opportunities, groomed into drugs, and eventually gang raped and prostitution as part of the actions of literal Muslim followers who read in the Quran that the women of non-believers are theirs to use and abuse. These animals do not have the decency of the vast numbers of British Muslims who outnumber them 100 to 1, who turn away from these aspects of what is written in their holy books. The police and the council officers have been, and it seems still often are, looking away. Today and every day, vulnerable British girls of around 12 plus will be taken to have their clitoris cut out, called female genital mutilation, as part of some 15th century barbaric tradition from the depths of Arabia to suit the expectations of the men who rule their society. The police and the council officers have been, and it seems still often are, looking away. Today and every day, British citizens will be brought before Sharia courts. They have no legality in much of what they choose to deal with, And in the case of women, those people will have their rights and property taken from them unlawfully. They dare not and they cannot speak out. The police and the council officers have been, and it seems still often are, looking away. This and much more is the enemy that Tommy Robson and his army of supporters speak out about and lawfully take action about. For the British way of life, for Queen and country. There is no wonder then that young and old soldiers alike look across at Tommy and see a friend, an equal and a leader, as they prepare to put their lives on the line for the British way of life, for Queen and country. The idea that the waffling class in the upper reaches of the forces will try and stop them admiring Tommy Robson, or anyone who is for the British way of life, for Queen and country, is obscene and absurd, and is an idea that will go badly. I hope that's Simplz.